are peaks. I have to be a millionaire. This is too tiring. I am this way because of my childhood. It is a catastrophe. I need to be loved. I am so anxious. All these statements have in common that they are coming from fake and unrealistic ideas, something that doesn't reflect the reality. However, because we are so stuck in our minds, we don't realize when a thought is fake or real. Today I'm gonna share with you the precious knowledge that I got from this book, S'aider soi-même, which means in English help yourself, which was written by a therapist analyzing different patients' cases, where he had to just give a very simple method and approach to people that had different and negative thoughts that were not based on reality. And this book literally shifted my mindset when it comes to problem solving or understanding how I should control an emotion, and really it will give you a major glow up to read this book. But that's why today I'm gonna share with you the knowledge that I learned from it, so that you don't have to read it, or maybe you go ahead and you get even more interested and start reading it. I will give you the method at the end of the video. I'm gonna start giving you concrete examples that I got from this book, from real cases, real patients that had these problems and paid thousands and thousands of euros to this therapist to get them fixed and start working with their own brain, with their own thoughts, to understand how they can resolve the internal conflict. The method explained here is so simple, yet people pay thousands and thousands of euros to go and see a therapist to learn how to apply it. Because like anything, even though the method is very simple, it takes some efforts. You need some consistency. Every time you have a negative thought, you need to know how to reframe it. But let me give you some concrete examples and then I'll give you the approach. So this example will be understood by many people. The doctor said that I need to stop smoking and drinking, but I will never be able to do it. I will lose my mind. And the doctor gives him this method, and he understands that the thoughts that he was having that were very negative were unrealistic, because everything is possible pretty much. It's possible to stop drinking and smoking. You just need to put some willingness to it. So this is when the method comes into play. You need every single time that you have a negative thought or a negative emotion, understand what happened behind that thought or that emotion. What is the occasion? What is the event that triggered it? And learn how to reframe it, because 99% of the times that you have a negative thought is fake. And let me give you more examples to make you understand. One important factor is to understand that life is sometimes fair, sometimes is unfair. That's reality. It happens with everyone. Even the happiest person on earth became happier because probably it's applying this method. She's applying or he's applying this method. So learn what are real facts, because most of the times what we think is not real. It's not real at all. We need to start talking facts, real facts. For example, I used to say that my childhood was the problem and I was the way I was because I had a traumatic childhood, for example, which could be true. However, right now we are in the present, and in the present moment I can change it. If I was a certain way, for example, shy, not talkative, I don't want to see anyone, introvert, it's because I was associating myself with the past. Yes, it was a bit traumatizing, but it's up to me now to change myself, because I have the self-awareness to do it. So if I keep saying and blaming the past and not taking any responsibility, then I will always stay the same. However, it's not my past's fault. It's my fault, because I have so many ways to change myself from within. I just need to observe these thoughts and tell myself the truth. It's not the fault of my past if I'm shy, introvert, I don't want to talk to people. It's just because I want to stay in my comfort zone and I don't want to make any efforts to change. And we know that as a real fact, life requires effort. If we want to create our dream reality, we need some efforts. Even when it comes to manifestation, we cannot just say, okay, I want to manifest €1,000,000. No, we need to visualize it. We need to write down things. We need to have an action plan. For example, we don't learn about how to make money. We don't study, and we just work, for example, in McDonald's, but without taking any actions. We cannot become millionaires, obviously. But if we work in McDonald's, but then we start learning about money, about how it works, and about being detached from it, then we're gonna be able to actually manifest these million euros because we are guiding our subconscious in that direction. If we don't manifest €1,000,000, we'll be able to manifest more money. It's another faith thought which is very interesting because a lot of people think this way. With the face I have, never be able to marry. I am condemned to be an old lady frustrated with some cats, like in The Simpsons, you know? The doctor, the therapist, helped her to reframe this sentence because it's fake. It's fake that she's ugly. It's fake that she's gonna stay alone forever. Obviously, if she thinks this way, then this will happen. How the therapist helped her shape better her thought and make it realistic. I would love to be prettier. Even though I have a big nose and weird eyes, it doesn't mean that I will never find someone that appreciates my feature the way they are. Even if I stay single forever, it will depend on me if I will be miserable about it or not. I can decide to probably, if I don't find anyone that appreciates my features, to yes, be a bit frustrated or use that time or the frustration to, for example, do hobbies that I like, to enjoy nature more, to read more, to learn more, or to spend time with my loved ones. I mean, it's up to you on how you're gonna waste your time with, because it's very easy to be frustrated because that's human nature. It's very easy to be sad, or we can write down our fake thoughts and start learning how to reframe them. I told you, I know it's easier said than done, but that's why the therapist says if everyone apply this very simple method without even coming here and spending thousands of euros, by putting some efforts and practicing more and more and more, then they're gonna be able to live a happier life. In any case, happier doesn't mean that you need materialistic things. Living a happier life means how you feel with yourself. Okay, it's not about having materialistic things, being a multi-millionaire. Yes, it helps more, but if you're feeling miserable inside, then you're gonna always feel sad. That's why you need to learn to understand which thoughts are fake, which thoughts are real, because those provoke emotions, and then emotions can make you feel a certain way and slow you down in life. Here's another example. I am really scared to go to this interview, and you know what? I know I'm gonna be refused because I am stupid, incompetent, and I will never make it in life. So this is a negative thought, and it's also a realistic and fake. How the therapist helps this person is by saying that I have nothing to lose to go to the interview. It could be a pity if I'm not taken for this job. However, it doesn't define my worth, who I am, if they refuse me. They might choose another candidate with more skills and assets, but it doesn't undermine me as a person. It doesn't remove my value. This is a realistic thought. If something happens and you're not taken for a job, for example, it doesn't mean that you don't have enough skills or you're not worth it. Because think about it. First of all, you're applying for that job. So this means that you are eager to get a job, to work, to earn some money. You don't want to depend on someone else. So you're eager to do things. Of course, you have skills. If the job is selecting someone with certain skills and you don't have them, it doesn't mean that you're not good enough. This is what you have to think. This is how you need to reframe your thoughts. So let me give you the methodology the therapist gives to his patients that pay thousands and thousands of euros. But remember, it's gonna take effort. You need to be consistent. Probably you need to put like a big paper on your room that reminds you of this step every single time you feel upset, anxious, or something goes wrong in your life. So something happens in your life. It completely overwhelms you emotionally, or you feel upset, angry, jealous. When you feel that way, you cannot jump to conclusions. You need to understand the ideas behind yourself being upset, angry. You need to observe those ideas and write them down. For example, you're jealous of your boyfriend because he's liking girls' pictures on Instagram, then write it down and understand, is it realistic that he doesn't love you anymore because he loves girls' pictures, or is it unrealistic? You need to compare these ideas, these perceptions, these judgments to reality. Are these realistic ideas that correspond to the world we live in? Let's say yes. Let's say that your boyfriend likes other girls' pictures on Instagram, and I'm using a very simple problem, but then I'm gonna give you a more dangerous example or something like that, more negative example, sorry. And he doesn't love you. Don't you think that there is a good side in this situation? The good side is that you can get rid of him and and continue with your life, leveling up, taking care of other things, and find someone that can actually love you? Do you see here the fact that once you analyze the situation, you can be frustrated, you can cry, I did it too. You can cry, you can be very sad about it, but then you can just say, okay, but what's the best outcome from this? What can I learn from this? And you can learn that you can get rid of your boyfriend and get you someone that will love you, but in the meantime, work on yourself, and most importantly, love yourself first. Because if you love yourself first enough, you will not allow certain actions or behaviors from your boyfriend. So this is what the therapist says. It says that, okay, let's say these ideas are realistic. So for example, my boyfriend doesn't love me because he's liking other girls' pictures, and this is only in the case he actually doesn't love you because you ask him and you see that maybe he's not putting any efforts, okay? And then if these ideas are realistic, however, you need to still use this method to not deform reality. For example, saying, okay, my boyfriend is liking this girl's pictures, therefore he doesn't love me, therefore I am ugly or I am not worth it. No, you are deforming reality even more. That's an unrealistic idea. It doesn't have any connections to your worth, your value, your beauty. If he doesn't love you, someone else will. But most importantly, you need to love yourself. You will love yourself. It's another way of changing your thoughts. I can't do this anymore. I am the slave of my husband and my kids. I'm always cleaning, always cooking, and it's never enough for them. I should have married Francois. So here's how the therapist had her reshape her thoughts and make her happier and not feeling that miserable for something that she created, pretty much. Indeed, she realized that yes, maybe she's really cleaning and cooking all the time, but maybe because it's also her fault for letting things just go through, slide, and not making some boundaries so that the family could respect some rules and also help her. So maybe it's also her responsibility. She says, okay, let me think about something that can help me fix the situation instead of complaining. Yes, maybe if I had married Francois, it would have been different. However, this is not the case. It's not the situation. So I have to find a way to fix the situation right now and think about the present moment, and obviously take responsibility because of this situation that I have created myself. Maybe if I put some rules before, they would have respected them. If I was strict, they would have respected them. If I wasn't always saying yes, 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 and people pleasing, maybe they wouldn't be asking from me so much. So every single time you have a problem, you need to think, okay, so what now? What should I do now to fix this? How can I catch myself? How can I get it together? How can I fix life? Even though I am in extreme difficult situation, what can I do? I cry and I stay in bed and I do nothing, I freeze completely, or I try to get up and fight for what I want. Here's another example, very extreme. I don't feel like living. My life is just about misfortunes and being unlucky, and I don't have the courage to commit suicide. Not even that, because I'm so stupid and so incompetent. Here's how he reframed his thoughts. My life will give me what I invest in. If I invest in good things, it will give me good things. If I invest in bad things, bad thoughts, it's obvious that it will give me just bad things and bad thoughts. So yes, I could find an easy solution and commit suicide, but it's not gonna be an act of courage, an act of bravery. Actually, I need to understand if I'm not making the situation even worse with the power of my thoughts. So this is what I learned from this book, and I want to also transmit this knowledge, because I think it's very important. A lot of people suffer from their thoughts, is to really observe them, observe these thoughts, observe the events, observe the situations. Ask yourself, can you control them? Can you do something about it or not? If something, for example, if a situation is created by another person, how can you fix it? Is it controllable, or is the person someone probably not educated enough or not having good judgment, so you cannot control it? So you might as well just not be affected by their opinion or their actions, and maybe it's a good thing so that you can select your circle better. So these are all the questions that you need to ask yourself, but the most important thing is always to observe your thought and ask yourself, what is the best thing, what is the best outcome that I can extract from this situation? Once again, the book is called S'aider soi-même. It's super helpful. Sure that if you apply this method consistently, you're gonna have great results and you're gonna live life in a lighter way. Because remember, we are just here for a short period of time. So if we spend most of our time being miserable, upset for someone or something, then when do we get to live? Life is all about challenges and situations, good situations, bad situations, and we are literally going through them every single day. We need to learn how to navigate life in a lighter way so that we can enjoy much more from it, and we can actually be happy and grateful for the life we have, because thinking negatively all the time will not fix your problems. So you might as well try this approach and see if you can have a more fulfilling and lighter life. Hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, help me grow this channel, and thank you so much for more than 2,000 subscribers. I am super lucky about this, and yes, I want to grow more and more and more, so I'm gonna try to put the best content out there that at least it's helpful for the soul, for the mind, for the body. Thank you so much, and see you in the next video. Bye.